Well, good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I'm going to be doing another watch review, and yes, this time by Invicta. Now, I've already reviewed this watch, but you'll notice that my scenery is a little different. And what I've been doing lately is reviewing some of my watches downstairs this time of year, because the lighting is so poor in my office, it's really hard to see what the watch actually looks like, to really appreciate its beauty. And so I've been doing a lot of my recent reviews downstairs, and let me know what you guys think. Does it really make a difference? Do you prefer it up in my office, or do you prefer it in the living room where there's better lighting? A little bit of a different approach to the watches. Normally I'm sitting. With these videos, most of the time I'm standing and talking to you guys and showing you guys the videos, of course, or the watches, of course. So with that being said, without further ado, this is one of my most favorite Invicta watches in my collection. It's one of my most recent purchases. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while now, you guys know me by now, that you know my favorite Invicta model to date. There's two, but my favorite one is what, right? Is the Grand Arsenal or Grand Octane, depending on where you buy the watch. And this watch is just an exceptional design. It's big, it's chunky, it's huge, and the thing is just flashing over the top. And what I love about the watch is that they make it in so many different variations as far as color combinations and faces and movements, which is the reason why I own 8 of these watches. And I'll tell you right now, I'll probably get more as they come out with different models. So the one I'm going to show you today is one of my most favorite ones in my collection, and that's the newest one I got. And this one here is, man, I've already reviewed it, but I cannot wait to show you guys the watch again. This one here is the Invicta Grand Arsenal or Grand Octane, done in the full iridescent, high polish finish with the Abalone exhibition back and Abalone face. This watch is a killer watch. If you're not the kind of guy who wants to get noticed wearing a watch, don't buy this watch. This watch is in your face and over the top. And I'm going to show it to you right now. So here it is. I know you guys have seen it before, and I'm sorry to do this to you Invicta lovers, but you guys can't get this right now. And if you, again, you're going to pay a lot more than I paid for. But let me tell you, if money's not an object to you, this is worth it. Because this watch is just over the top. There's nobody going to be wearing anything quite like this. So let me go ahead and show it to you. You can see this amazing finish on this thing here, where it's like this rainbow kind of finish, all mirror polished, iridescent finish, mirror polished case, face, and bezel. Now, of all the Invicta Grand Arsenals I have, this is one of only 2 that I have in a mirror polish. The other one is the one my girlfriend got me with the Abalone face in the all mirror black, which is again my second favorite Invicta watch in my collection. And this one here is just absolutely stunning. You can see they have the exhibition back with that Abalone right there. And some of you guys will, not you guys, not the ones who like what I'm doing, but some of you idiots out there, why would you put an exhibition case on a quartz watch? Who cares, man? Shut up. Who cares? You know, I mean, look at it. It's friggin' beautiful. Unbelievable. You know, it just amazes me where people get their brains from. You know, if you don't like it, then just shut your mouth. I love it. So you see that beautiful Abalone in the face. Everything's just mirror polished and just over the top. Now the iridescent kind of changes color as you shift it, depending on which angle you're looking at it. Naturally, it's got a lot of what appears to be more of like a bluish green, and you can kind of see kind of the purple. And how they get this finish is I believe they heat treat it with some sort of, I don't know if it's a flame or somehow it's heat treated to get the stainless steel to turn this color. And what I love about this particular one here, as you can see, is that the Abalone in this one here actually has more of a blue and purple tone to it, whereas on my black watch, it kind of has more of a green tint to it. I'm not sure if they actually tinted the Abalone at all, or I just got lucky and got one that it really blends well with the watch. Now, if you've never seen this watch before, you have a 58mm diameter all the way to the bezel, and of course you have 63mm all the way to the crown and the end of the case. So it does wear like a 63mm watch because you do have the crown and function pushers and the crown protector, which stick out that much further to give you that full 63mm. As far as thickness on this watch, you're looking at about 19mm, so not as thick as, say, your Hydromax or your Venom watch, but it's still 19mm. Anytime you're getting closer to 20, it's not a small watch by any means. And the watch, most of these watches that I review with you guys by Invicta way, when it starts getting involved in size like this, are about £1 before you size them. they lose a little bit of weight there if you have a wrist my size. And I have a 7-inch wrist, so naturally this thing just looks like a tank on me. One of my favorite watches in my collection. So let me go ahead and get back a little bit. I'm just going to tell you just a little bit right off the website on what this watch actually has. I'm going to go ahead and throw it on right now so you guys have something to look at while I'm talking about this. Alright, so right off the website here, you know, guys, I don't get too specific in you know, about what makes the movement good or what makes the movement work. You know, but most of these watches by Invicta use a lot of Swiss-made Ronda movements in their watches. So this one's powered by a very well-respected Ronda Z60 quartz chronograph movement. The movement of origin is, of course, Switzerland. You have a case measurement of 63 millimeters. That is with the crown. And they say here 20 millimeters in case thickness, so I was wrong by a millimeter. Unidirectional rotating bezel. Invicta uses kind of their own flame fusion crystal. Somehow they do something to the crystal to make it more scratch resistant. Screw-down crown with screw-down function pushers. You have your perpetual seconds, minutes, and day of the week. The watch is made of stainless steel, surgical grade stainless steel. Classic deployment clasp in this watch. Bracelet measures 9 inches by 30 millimeters in band width. So if you're a big guy with a huge wrist, this watch will be able to fit on you. 660 feet of water resistance. And of course, the weight on this here, they say 14 ounces unsized. So just a tank of a watch. Guys, when I got this watch here, I picked this one up for about $350. And it's right when it was released. I knew it was coming out, and I had to have it. And so, guys, I'll put a link in the description where you might be able to still get this watch if you are interested. Now, without further ado, let me show you guys what you guys love to see is what it looks like on the wrist. So, again, I have a 7-inch wrist. I weigh about 165 pounds and about 5'7". So all these watches always, as I always say, look really big on me. And I have a coworker who has one of these watches, not the same color combination, but he has a little bit smaller wrist, a 6.5-inch wrist, and he can still pull it off. So, guys, remember, with a watch this big, it's not about whether or not you can wear it because you might have a smaller wrist. You can wear whatever you want, and it's all about your personality and how you present yourself. If you're confident and you like what you like, it doesn't matter whether other people don't like it. And I can tell you, you know, coming back to reviewing the Invicta, I've reviewed a lot of watches over the last couple of weeks, a lot of different brands, all which have something to bring to the table. But I have to tell you, for the price point that Invicta is giving you their watches, if you like this style of watch, a dive watch, and maybe you don't like the big over-the-top watch thing, so then the watches I reviewed with you guys by Alexander and Sterling, just some of the watches I reviewed, those dress style watches were more downplayed, just a little, I would consider classier, more of your dress style, then that's a great watch for you. But if you want to watch, like I love watches like this that are just over the top. When I wear this, it's like you know this thing is going to get noticed. And it's not necessarily about liking the attention. It's just a conversation piece. People are just like, wow, that's a huge watch. You know, wow, I've never seen anything like that. It's kind of like pulling up with a like a fancy car. Wow, people appreciate your own personality and what you've created and what you're wearing. And I just think it's a lot of fun. So, be confident, be who you are, and don't let nobody, steer you away from doing what you want to do. You know what I mean? We're all unique and we're all our own person. So anybody can wear this. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. It doesn't matter. Some people are like, oh, that looks ridiculous. Shut up. If you don't like it, shut your mouth. Maybe you don't wear it because you can't pull it off. Maybe that's the case. It doesn't matter. Wear something else. Just keep your mouth shut. I don't mean to be rude to anybody, but that goes out to some of those YouTube trolls that always seem to have to make a comment about how one idiot today, what a moron, he said, God, even seeing this thing after review, it's just huge. Even after reviewing some of the smaller watches, this idiot still comes on there and says, Invicta watches, why would you buy that? Why would you waste your money? Get something you can pass down to your kids. Like morons, my oldest watch in my collection was an old Timex from my grandfather. It's over 100 years old. You wind it. It was probably a $20 watch, and it still works after 100 years. So get off your high horse. You don't know how long a product is going to last or not last. And just because it rocks that name that starts with an O or that name that starts with an R doesn't mean it's going to outlast anything else. Get what you like. Wear what you like. Alright guys, now thank you for letting me fly off on a tangent there. I'm just so excited to wear this watch. I'm going to go get a beer and just kind of relax for the rest of the evening. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. Remember to click the notifications on button so that you're notified anytime I put up a new video. Remember, guys, I got a lot more watches coming that aren't necessarily Invictas. You're going to see more Aragon watches because I worked a deal with that company to be able to get watches, review them, and if I like them, I buy them. And if it's not something I really want to get at the time, I just send them back with the prepaid label. It's a great way for me to share watches with you guys. Sterling, some of the other companies have been super generous. Sterling and Alexander send me watches it's just the generosity has been amazing. Send me these watches to have in part of my collection to review and wear and come back to, and hopefully they'll send me more at a later date, and hopefully I can keep pumping out these videos for them. I hope they like what they see, of course. And remember, you guys are the ones who view the content. You guys are the ones I like to please this stuff. So if you have any kind of special requests, let me know. I'll see what I can do. As always, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Remember, if you make a purchase through eBay or Amazon, click the links in my description to PHATKATWatches.com. And check out my new InvictaWatches.store. That's kind of your one-stop shopping portal for Invictas. It'll take you to all the real-time listings where you get the stuff for the best value and best price. So guys, thanks again for watching. And as always, have a great day.